So, this week, stuff and things.
Yeah, what's going on with you, man? What's going on? Hey,
I took a look over at MVCIB, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond, Maximilian's just flex project, the full-on vanity of dropping 30K and just going, yo, make it good though. And then they did, and that was awesome. Yeah, there is if you go to mvcib.com, I believe, Marvel Infinite and Beyond is just taking Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, and they got a team of like 80 people or so, I think, just
like a proper development team,
modders and just they got Alex Mukala and Little V to make some music, artists to redo a lot of the art, new modes, just a whole thing, and just taking Infinite and just making it a better game.
You can polish a turd if you try hard enough.
Well, so the thing with Infinite from the jump was that the gameplay was always good. It was always really well built in terms of just the battle planning. It's the rest that sucked, you know? And fortunately, that's something that a modding team and some artists and some creative people can do. You know, you can get some really talented people to make some new music, change some stages, and like change the shaders so that it actually looks like a comic book now, you know, dot tone and like bright colors and just the things that you kind of wanted and expected Marvel versus Capcom to look like. I remember when Marvel 3 was shown and it was like, okay, like,
this is awesome. This looks great.
Well, but I was like, you do lose a little something in 3D. You know, I remember feeling that, but I was like, yeah, but clearly there's things going on. Like, look at Wolverine's Berserker Barrage slashing through the pages of the stage, right? Treating it like paper. That was an awesome effect. And I was like, I wish they did more of that. But at the end,
I think Marvel 3 was a better use of 3D than Street Fighter did for a while.
They're being more creative and fun with like the particles and the effects on the characters and stuff in like the wind poses. You get up close and start to see some of the shading and thick lines as well, right? But all this to say that, like, I mean, jumping into 3D from the old 2D games, you know, like that first jump is always gonna have a little bit of awkwardness to it. Tatsunoko had some of that as well. But at the end we were like, okay, well, you're not going to get sprites anymore, and that's fine. We're in a different world now. But like, if we have like a real respect for like the comic book art style, and the stuff that's been, you know, colorful and iconic for years, then you're not kind of betraying that with the franchise. And then Marvel Infinite was like, nah, we're going realistic. Fuck you.
Nah, we're going.
And by realistic, I mean ugly. You know?
Hey, let's remove like respect for the medium at the door, and let's remove respect for Marvel at the door. Let's just like focus on like, how about respect for the looks of your own characters?
Your own characters.
Chun-Li is one of your most beloved characters ever. Why does she look like that?
Yeah, it just doesn't. And even to now, when you look at like the changes, it's like they did the best they could to fix like the lighting and make it not as bad, but you can still see the weird eyes on her because that's her model, right? When I'm describing like how the feeling of Marvel 3 is like, okay, that's still pretty cool though. I'm like, now we're looking back on it going like, yeah, that shit rocks, right? Because of what we got after the fact. But to me, I'm like, well, Children of the Atom is like the fucking peak in my brain of how awesome these characters and sprites and colors and things can look. And
Children of the Atom looks pretty good.
And everything since Children of the Atom has been going further down, right? That like the animation has been, you know, getting choppier, and you've had to just make concessions overall. So that's what I'm kind of comparing it to, is like this idyllic, super duper detailed, beautiful animation in the sprites. All this to say that Infinite and Beyond kind of just found a really nice filter And especially when you see the characters doing their supers up close, and just the change to the lighting effects just makes it look so much more fun and enjoyable, and it's what you wanted from the jump. The announcers having a blast, the title screen, all the little options, all the little art you're seeing everywhere. Everything is just like, it's all the, yeah, and if you've heard Max talking about, like, you know, the joy and the fun and the you know, the feeling over the years, it's like this is kind of just in reinserting all of that into a game where the tag system was fun. And they did make a couple balance changes too here. They're very minimal. Nothing to change the way the characters, nothing to like take away tools that the characters had, but more just like scaling back damage on stuff that was too abusable.
Let's say oppressive.
Yeah, and then also making it so that you had a couple more options, and you can some characters got new stuff entirely. You know,
well, that's cool.
Yeah, Thanos has the full Infinity Gauntlet, for example. So he can,
that makes sense,
right? Because of course he's actually got it, you know. But there are little things as well where, like, you know, you could hold the input for throw and grab someone first frame during like a special flash before. But like now you can do that with like the jab button as well, or like other things. So like holding during a super flash is now like a bit of a more standardized bit. You know, some other fine details in the game or so. But anyway, playing it, checking it out, it's awesome, man. It's super cool. It's the first thing I thought of when I saw those mods for Marvel 3 started popping up. And I'm so happy that, like, yeah, he just kind of got a team together and they made this full thing. And like they did exactly what I was hoping for too, which is like, here it is. It's easy to install. It's a zip file. You just grab it and you drop it in the folder that you install off of Steam. And yeah, like and it pretty much tells you, it's like, if you have the extra costumes, you're gonna get some bonus stuff there. If you don't, that's fine. You don't need it. You can play it online with other people that have it, but if people don't have that version, like, that's okay. You could even just get one that doesn't change the visuals, that just changes the gameplay elements as well. So really well thought out to just be simple and easy for people to grab it, drop it on top of their installation, and go. And it's fun to go back and be like, damn, yo, Monster Hunter rules. I can finally, like...
Yeah, no, that character,
she's so awesome. And I was so sad that she was stuck there. And it's so fun to be able to just go back and do all that crazy fucking shit with her. So, yeah. That is just the, like... It's the best mod package, like, in this genre that we've ever seen. Easily. And... usually you've had like some shit posty stuff from back in the day, like the mysterious mods and the goofy Street Fighter 4 broken editions and shit like that.
I can't think of anything that's comprehensive.
No, this is usually reserved for Souls games and or Skyrims, right?
Like total conversion.
That's it.
Kind of thing.
So just, yeah, if you haven't checked it out, do so. Absolute kudos. And obviously the game is like popping back up, and it's online and people are playing it, and hey, look at that, it's suddenly healthy again. And I don't know what kind of conversations happened, you know, behind the scenes or so, but one thing is clear is, like, as much as this is not an official thing and has nothing to do with...
Capcom's never going to touch this.
No, of course not, right? And you know, same for your Project M style bits with Nintendo and everything. But you do have to go buy a copy of Marvel Infinite,
which is conveniently on sale right now,
to install the mod. So that much is clear, and I don't think you can be too upset about that if you're not touching this otherwise, you know? But I'm sure business-wise, there's a like, why can't we? There's definitely a, like, money on the table, bah humbug feeling to the situation. I bet you some people are having, but I bet you internally
Marvel might have an issue with it, but it's too late, dipshits.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Yeah, and again, like, you do have to go buy the thing, and I bet, like, I wouldn't be surprised if there might have been like a little, like, hey, as long as people got to go buy the thing, you know.
I have a suspicion that before Max did all this work and put money into it, that he spoke to a guy who could give him certain acquiescences.
You know, but it's very cool. It's great. It's nice to see that, like, this entry that is skipped over in discussion now no longer has to be, because when we talk about Marvel, you just don't talk about Infinite.
It will continue to be skipped over in discussion, and then someone will go, "Hey, what about that cool mod Nex made?" And they'll go, "Yeah, that was cool."
Yeah.
When's Marvel 4 though?
Yeah, no, there's for some folks, but it's it's legitimately a really cool final thing to have for this game, and I think I saw like there's some discussion, like some Japanese the Twitter things where some folks were going like, "Hey, if this is not officially recognized, then it doesn't matter. Who cares?" Was kind of the energy.
Oh, fuck off!
And it was like, all right,
get your esports out of your ass.
Well, I'm just like, I didn't think a bootlick approach would apply to fucking to fighting games, but here we are trying to lick a boot. It's why I was like, oh, if it's not official, then no.
I need Kevin Feige to tell me what video games I can enjoy.
It was a bit of a wild one there, but there are some folks that are kind of have that feeling, and it's like, okay, you can do that, and we'll be having fun over here, dear Lord. Yeah, I guess the other idea too is like, it doesn't. I think it's not that again, if Marvel's going to get mad, they're going to get mad regardless in a way. Anyone who doesn't like this won't like it, but it doesn't add new characters. So there's also a little bit of a like, it's keeping the integrity of the thing they released, just making it better to it. I know, but it's a weird like it's a weird line almost where it's like, as a result of this, it's not anyone who's been playing the game for the last 7 or so years is still playing that game.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because they're sick.
Or they really like
if I was still
crashing.
playing Dave Defeat right now, you would say that I'm mentally ill. Now, granted, I am mentally ill, but that would be a different conversation.
Or you really like tag crashing and, the 2v2 dynamic, and can be the ability to create your own assists, Anyway, so yeah, Infinite and Beyond is awesome and worth checking out. I will urge everybody to go take a look.
I feel super bad for Marvel Infinite's development, not just because of not because of like the slow stuff and they didn't have enough time and money, but like there was a really incredibly clear MCU push behind that game.
Yep.
And non-X-Man push. Mm-hmm. No Magneto, put Ultron, right?
Yeah.
And like I compare that to the subsequent Marvel products that came out of Marvel Snap and Marvel Rivals, in which they're like, you want to play as Jeff the Shark? Fuck it.
So
who needs that shit?
But there's like a 50-50 in a way, right? Because even beforehand, when Rocket Raccoon was included in Marvel 3, it was like, who? Why? Yeah. Right? And looking at Rivals, you could argue like, oh, well, Mantis probably would not have been an inclusion if not for Guardians. But that was a successful case of getting people to care about characters they didn't initially. The push towards promoting the character versus, well, now that they've arrived and people like them and we're going to include them, is still a thing. But you're going to have Squirrel Girl and Jeff the Land Shark while you have Mantis I don't know. Like, I feel like Scarlet.
Well, I'm staring at the list in front of me right now.
Well, I was going to say, like, Scarlet Witch also feels like a character that is included and is much more of a big deal now because of MCU, as opposed to prior to her inclusion there. It's kind of was like, yeah, she was around and she had a big impact on things like House of M and these events, but she might not have been in a roster of playable characters. Look, she wasn't in any of the Marvel games as a playable character.
And like, you're obviously, I'm looking at the leak list for upcoming Marvel Rivals characters. Like, oh, you got the Fantastic Four in there, and you got Blade, and Deadpool. People like those. They got movies. And then you get motherfucking Hitmonkey. Fucking Hitmonkey coming to fucking Marvel Rivals.
I don't even know.
Me either. Point taken.
They announced some new characters?
No, they did not announce the new characters, but people have been data mining shit out like constantly. And including pulling out like the models for some of the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
But yeah, some McFarlane character called Angela Hitmonkey, Deadpool, Captain Marvel, Emma Frost, Phoenix, Valkyrie, MODOK,
Oh,
Fantastic,
Angela
Human Torch.
is the yeah, Angela, if I'm not mistaken, is basically the Spawn character that like he just took and made again outside of the Image imprint, and he just went like, yeah, it's my character. I'm doing it. You can't stop me.
We're getting weirdos like Angela and Hitmonkey alongside your movie characters, and I'm just like, man, Marvel Infinite was like defined by a bunch of loser picks.
Okay.
Like Monster Hunter's the most interesting character on that whole roster, and they're a Capcom character.
Oh, she's in Thor's canon. Sorry. Okay. I'm like, I don't know a ton about how that happened. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, weird picks is good. That's cool. And now that if you don't know a Jeff the Land Shark, then now you do, and you're like, hey, that's cool. I like that. It's like, what's that about? It's like, oh, Gwenpool. What that's a thing, and you know. So this is all. Yeah. It all works when the obscure inclusion is something people would like if they knew about it to begin with, I know
it's a fighting game adjacent, like barely, but I have to actually agree with Say Jam that playing Rivals feels like the Marvel 4 waiting room. It's a shooter, but it has all of the like bullshit juice fucked up garbage that Marvel feels like it has.
Well, yeah, if you like, and you get to feel good about like for those characters at the very least. I mean, there's nothing Capcom happening in there certainly, but in terms of just enjoying a bunch of these Marvel mainline characters in a game, yeah, that feeling is there. I get that. It's very indirect, but it is there. I did boot it up, at least. I didn't have time to jump into any matches, but I did boot it up to just take a look at some of the costumes and cosmetics and whatever's on sale and stuff. And like, yeah, they populated that store fucking quick. Yep. They really went, yep, here's all your MCU outfits. Here's your classics. Here's the stuff.
Here's some space outfits.
No, they did exactly what I was expecting there. And yeah, good shit. Hey, look, Magneto's old costume, except it's like not exactly his old costume. It's a cooler version.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. But I'm like, I wonder if it's like, is that so? Because then it says like, oh, first appearance like 1951 or so, Magneto, and I'm wondering, I'm like, are you doing this so that like you can scratch this itch now, but then you can make an even more super awkward, legit old Magneto outfit, or you're just gonna kind of leave them all looking kind of cool?
I think there's gonna be a lot of costumes.
Yeah, because
is what I think.
Because, if the classic costume for the character still looks like a kind of cool updated one, it's like you have room for an even more goofy looking old one.
I think there will be many, many costumes in this game.
Also, seeing how...
I've been playing so much of it that I'm learning how much I hate other teammates in shooters again.
Oh, there you go.
I'm feeling it. I'm like, hey, man, hey, Woolie. We're playing the 3-point thing where you have to win 3 matches in a row. All right, we destroyed the other team. We destroyed them. It was complete one-sided. All right, we're going to the second round. Every single person change your character to a character you're bad with. Every single one of you. Oh, we lost twice in a row. Fucking sick. That's great. That's good that you all did that.
There you go. That's the story. That's the feel. I mean, look, random queue is random queue no matter what it is, though, seeing how that character select screen is like 3 rows now, and like there's clearly a full semicircle that can be completed, if not more. They've purposely made a fuck ton of space in the
that style of curve. Rotating thing can go infinitely.
So yeah, that's cool.